You know it's all about the...
To just give him that prodigy name, I'm not a fan of it. As far as with what was happening, like, I wish Luchasaurus would have turned on Christian. Like, I was hoping for it. Like, I was just like, do it. Just like, he's calling you kill switch. Pull the trigger on him. Hit him with the chair. And still keep the name and change your gear. Like, the name works for you. Change gear, and you can still be on your own. But the prodigy thing for Nick Wayne doesn't work. And I wish Nick Wayne would have had some kind of reaction to his mom going down. I do. Like, I wish he would have been like stuck in the middle of like, what do I do?
No reaction.
He was just dead faced. Like, he just had that dumb look on his face, like, huh? What? Like, dude, your mom is on the ground. Like, check on her. And then we get Copeland come out, and ultimately Concerto. Like, I'll just say this: it would have been really funny if Adam Copeland, after spearing Nick Wayne twice and doing the Concerto to him, it would have been really funny if Adam Copeland, after doing that, would have looked down at Nick Wayne and said, "Now I'm your daddy, bitch."
You know what's funny? I honestly thought before Adam Copeland concertoed Nick Wayne, I honestly thought with his mom sitting there, I'm thinking his mom was going to like low blow Adam Copeland. That's what I thought. Just to stop him from concertoing Nick Wayne. That's what I thought was going to happen. I'm surprised it didn't happen, honestly.
I think she was just in shock of everything that was happening.
Yeah.
And I will say this. Bravo to her for staying down as long as she did and selling that as well as she did.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Bravo to her. But at the same time, woman, you had no struggle of getting up. You just got up.
Right.
Like
the sell and then the no sell.
Like, yeah, exactly. It was like, you're doing great. You're doing great. Oh, you messed it up.
And then you ruined it.
You ruined it. You messed it up. But still, bravo to her. I'm excited to see what happens next week. I'm ready for Dynamite next week. And I want to see what happens with this next week. Like, I hope we get something with this, because we know sometimes they like to wait 2 or 3 weeks to continue something. I hope this doesn't do that. I hope we get a continuous of this next week and see what happens. And I want to see Nick Wayne's mom on screen every week moving forward with Adam Copeland.
You get no complaints from me. So,
and the reason why is because I want Adam to try and get in Nick Wayne's head.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
And there's one way he can do it. There's one way he can do it. Is say, like, just be like, you're following Christian and Christian's telling you all this stuff. But out of the two of us, who was more successful?
Yeah, that probably would do it. We had a question in chat though, but my man V Will Gray. So when the feud ends, does he have to change his name back? 2 name changes for a mid card star who's never really been over. I'm not sure really. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's gonna rock with the Kill Switch name for right now, and probably end up changing it back once the feud's over, I would assume. It would just, you know what, it would honestly just be great to see him back with Jack Perry at some point as heels.
Why not? I can dig that.
He saw his most success with Jack Perry.
I can dig him keeping the Kill Switch. Like I said, I can dig him keeping the Kill Switch name, but he needs to change his look.
Yeah.
But I really hope this was something that he was able to agree upon. Like, it wasn't just like, hey, we're changing your name to Kill Switch just to let you know, and you got to change your look. I hope it was something that he got to agree on. Because, like you just said, his most successful work was with Jack Perry when it was Jungle Boy and, his pet dinosaur. And if we get those two in the future, because we all know that sometimes tag teams tend to find their ways back, and they can be heels, and he could be Kill Switch, and Jack Perry can just be Jack Perry, and they could just be these two badass dudes. Like, they can be babyface heels, basically. The crowd's gonna love them, but they're gonna be heels.
Yeah. I like it. Next, we had backstage chaos with the used to be JAS members and Anna Jay. Anna Jay obviously just wants to hurt somebody. Cool Hand Herc, although he seems to be more interested in Ruby Soho. So apparently we're getting some sort of, I don't know, some out of the blue love angle with Ruby Soho and Cool Hand. Don't really care for that at all, but it's going somewhere. Where, I don't know. Mike, your thoughts on that?
Oh man. I think honestly we're gonna come to a head to where Ruby and Saraya, this is gonna affect them as a team. And I kind of seen that coming the moment Tony Storm was broken away. I thought it was going to happen sooner that those two were going to just break apart, but they kept them together. I think this is going to be a situation to where that's going to happen, especially everything that happened at ringside today with Ruby getting her hair pulled by Saraya and, Anna Jay not being happy with those guys. Like, you're supposed to be in my corner, but yet you're coming out here and this is all happening. Like, I will say this, opportunity opened up for Sky Blue. I was happy to see her win this match. I was. That gave her so much momentum. Just that win alone gave her so much momentum. But right now, I'm not interested in it. I kind of want to see where they go with it. Because, like I said, I had a feeling that Ruby Soho and Saraya were going to break after Tony Storm. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens first. Right now, I'm kind of about it.
Yeah, me too. I'm just kind of, it's kind of just out of the blue. Next, we had another tournament match. We had Roosh versus Jay White. Man, like I said, Roosh is really coming into his own. He's really proving that he is probably one of the best overlooked AEW talent right now. We heard the ovation that he got this past Saturday. People are really starting to, attach themselves to Roosh. They're really starting to like Roosh. They're appreciating the work he's done in the ring, and I think he's been a great talent. Seeing him in the ring, the fast-paced luchador style that he has is amazing right now. So he's doing a lot of amazing work right now, and eventually his time is coming because it can't be ignored any longer. It really can't be, and I think his time is coming. I would love to see Roosh versus Andrade. I think Roosh versus Andrade would be amazing. To see them have a feud, I think would be great as well. But this was another match for the tournament, and this is another a certain style that we got. Like I said, with the first match was Swerve and Jay Lethal, we got the high flying technical style. With this was more so more of a brawling kind of style from Jay White and Roosh. So another style, another flavor of wrestling for this tournament, which I thought was great. So we didn't just get one type kind of style each match. We all got a different kind of style with these three different matches. But yeah, I gave this match a 3.2 out of 5. Obviously, Jay White coming out the winner with the Blade Runner finishing move. But yeah, 3.2 out of 5 for this match. Mike, your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I gave this one a solid 3. The one thing that threw me off was like right at the beginning of the match. Okay. And I know this is being a little nitpicky, but I'm going to nitpick. When Roosh was told all his guys had to go to the back, cool, calm, collective, understood. But then we get Jay White. You just came off a world championship match on Saturday. Okay. You know, and the fans know you're going to win this match. Like it was the determination. Like eventually we're going to get Jay White probably gets surprised by somebody in this tournament and beat, but it wasn't going to be tonight. The little tantrum he threw when the guns had to get sent back, I was like, come on, dude. Like, you just came off of a world championship match. You just had the world champion damn near an hour ago say that you are one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. And for 30 minutes, gave him a fight. And now you're throwing a tantrum because your two guys have to go to the back to follow the rules of this tournament? Like, come on.
I think it's the way to go right now for heels. I mean, we saw the Bucks throw their whole tantrum after losing the tag team match Saturday. So
yeah, but
I don't know.
The difference between that and my eyes is the Bucks were fighting for their purpose of let's get the band back together type of deal. Where Jay White, he was in a world title match. And in that world title match, I mean, yeah, the guns were down there and we seen them kind of get involved, but kind of not get involved. And they got sent to the back. And for 15 more minutes, you and MJF just battled. You prove that you don't need them down there with you. So why do you need them now? And why are you going to throw a tantrum for the referee following the rules of a tournament? Like, that kind of threw me off a little bit. And like I said, I know it's nitpicky, but I nitpick about these things sometimes. It's what I do. Because, like I said, when I watch pro wrestling, it's, 10-year-old in me just kind of shows its face and, nitpicks at things it doesn't need to nitpick at. And just seeing that, I was kind of like, you know what? I know Jay White's going to win this match, but I kind of hope to make him lose now. Like, if you're going to have him, and this is the way I looked at it, was he just threw a tantrum because his guys got sent to the back. If you're going to play that, then have him lose this match and have him just throw more of a tantrum. Have him go on a losing streak. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in the tournament alone. Like, he can have a singles match on Collision that's non-tournament wise and have him lose. Maybe do like Dralistico. And just have like this little mini feud with that group. But he ends up losing. But then ultimately he gets to Roosh again and ends up beating him. I don't know. Something stupid. But they could play off of it. But it just threw me off because he was just in a world title match. So I don't know.
That's fair. Next we had the acceptance speech for Timeless Toni Storm after winning her third AEW Women's World Championship. There's not anything there that was all that important other than it was just kind of goofy and it just kind of just played into her current gimmick that she's currently going with. I'm going to go into the next match, Mike, unless you had anything to say about this acceptance speech segment or whatever of Timeless Toni Storm.
I do want to go back on one thing that happened before this, because it does involve the women's division. I think I may have jumped ahead a little bit by saying like congratulations to Sky Blue for winning the match. So I apologize for jumping ahead, but I do want to say something again. This show had some great promos. Like this show was a promo filled night, but with great promos. Samoa Joe, awesome promo. MJF Adam Cole, awesome promoing work. Who else had promos?
Christian Cage.
Go back. Christian Cage. Awesome promo work. Orange Cassidy, Hook, Wheeler Yuta. Awesome promo work. Anna Jay. Awesome promo work. Like, I was like, wow. Like, every promo tonight is really just wow.
Yeah.
The Adam Cole and Roderick Strong thing in the back. Awesome. Like, tonight just had awesome promos. We get to Tony Storm, and this leads into this. We get to Tony Storm. And again, I'm not a fan of Tony Storm. But yet again, awesome promo. Nitpick. Tony Storm said that she had nothing prepared, but she pulls out a note. Had no speech prepared or nothing prepared, but she pulls a note out of her boob. I'm like, Tony, you just said you had nothing prepared. And you're pulling thank you things out of your... Come on. But it was still awesome. I liked it. I did. I don't think I'll ever be a fan of her. But I can sit here and say there's stuff that she does that I do like. And she's doing an awesome job with this gimmick. She's starting to catch my attention. Will I ever root for her to win a match? She would have to face somebody that I don't like more than her. Other than that, I'd be rooting against Tony Storm the whole time. But I do give her credit for what she's doing. And she's doing great with it. There was a question that came along social media earlier this week. And I believe it was on Monday. Now, we all know we go to social media and we see all these different, sites and stuff like that ask us all types of wrestling questions. I'm sure, Cam, you see it all the time. All these different wrestling Observer sites and stuff like that, they'll put out on Twitter, like, what do you think about this? So the one deemed the question of, do you think it was too soon in Tony Storm's gimmick to win the women's world title? And I said yes. And not because of the fact that I'm not a fan of Tony Storm. I would have liked her to get a little deeper into this gimmick before putting the world title on her. Like, I feel like they could have went just a little deeper before doing it. By all means, she can win the world title. I'm okay. Like, it's okay. But I think they should have just went a little deeper. I think they should have waited till at least World's End. Like, let her get this gimmick this character a little more deeper to what she's focusing on doing. Because I feel like she's not even at the peak of what she wants to accomplish with this yet. But I think World's End would have been the perfect time. World's End would have been the perfect time. But I get it. Full Gear was geared up, no pun intended, to be a big pay-per-view. And, you wanted to get to that point. So now they're going to get deeper with this character while being the women's world champion. Now I'm sitting here saying as a fan, and this is where I'm going to get a wide-eyed open look from you. Watch. They're going to do this is... Oh, now I lost my train of thought. Wow. I'm sorry. I was so intense on saying what I wanted to say, I lost my train of thought. If I think of it, I'll come back to it.
Happens to the best of us.
It does. It does. But I will say this. If it comes back to my mind, I will let you know, and then I will say what I wanted to say. And I was so focused on I was going to get that wide-eyed look from you because you were going to be like, oh, wow, Mike. And yeah, I was anticipating that before even getting to the peak of what I wanted to say.
We had another triple threat match, another women's triple threat match with Anna Jay, Sky Blue, and Ruby Soho. Again, like I said, I got to give credit where credit's due. they are showcasing the women's division perfectly right now. Like I said, keep that momentum going. Keep the variety of people that they're throwing into the women's division, people that you don't see very often, or people that are returning, yada yada, and throw them in matches. I thought this was a great match for the women's showcase. I don't know if this was at the time slot that they normally have the women's matches at. I'm not sure. I don't think it was actually. I think it was a little later than it was. But yeah, this was a great match. And I think right now the women's division in AEW, I think, is positioned well enough to where they can have a women's main event. They can have a women's match main event. I would like to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. So yeah, but this is another awesome match, another good showcase for the women's division. A lot of story development on the outside of the ring with Ruby Soho and Cool Hand. We talked about that earlier. Don't know where that's going, but we'll see where that develops. Obviously, this is in Chicago, so Sky Blue being the hometown girl, she was probably not going to lose. They don't have, their hometown people lose in their hometowns. So she was the obvious winner, but she broke out a new sort of spinning out stunner RKO cutter maneuver that I've never seen her do. Maybe that's going to be her new finisher variant. I like it. It fits her new darker gimmick. But of course, Sky Blue wins with that cutter. I give this match a 2.4 out of 5. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was around the 2.5. Like I was around like the 2.5, 3-ish mark with this because of the fact of Sky Blue winning this match. Again, I really hope that this builds some type of momentum to her. And it all started with her entrance. Like she cut off the women's world champion. Like she's basically saying, F the TBS title. I want the women's world title. I'm going to go out and I'm going to cut off our women's world champion. And that was that. I'm going to get some attention. And you know what? I'm going to get more attention. And I'm going to pull out a new finisher. Going to get more attention and more momentum by winning this match. I really wish she would have pinned Ruby Soho. I feel like it would have been a little more meaningful of her pinning Ruby Soho. Because Anna Jay, again, they're starting to put a little more focus on the women's division, which is really awesome. And we're still getting that, women's division spot at 9:25 at night. And the matches are between 10, 12 minutes long. We got a little more of the women's division tonight, which was nice. We got an Anna Jay promo. We got a Toni Storm promo. We got a women's match. Like, they put some more focus on it tonight. I want to see a little more focus. I want to see the women's division at least get a half hour of the show. At least a half hour. I'm talking promos, matches. Like, I want to see them get a half hour of the show. You got 3 shows. You got Rampage, you got Collision, you got Dynamite. I think you can take a half hour of your time and dedicate it to your women's division. And here was another thing I was thinking of. Me and you got into some conversation last week, not only here on the Boom, but on Sunday night as well, about the women's division, correct? We got into some pretty deep conversation about stuff. And I kind of mentioned about them turning Rampage into a Ring of Honor show. But I gave this some thought after Sunday night. I sat back and thought, as nice as it would be for us to get the Ring of Honor show as Rampage, we do get Ring of Honor stuff during Dynamite. We do get Ring of Honor stuff during Collision. Why not turn Rampage into an all-women's division show? We get a full hour highlighted by the women's division. Matches, promos, story building. And I think they can pull it off. They don't even have to change the name. They keep it Rampage. But just focusing on the women's division and giving them a full hour of their own show? I don't know. I just thought of it. And Tony Khan, where are your women's tag team championships? Like, I heard rumor that you were gonna have them by Double or Nothing, and it just didn't happen. They need women's tag belts. They do. But I don't know. I gave it thought, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm just gonna see what people have to say.
I don't think they need an all women's show. I think that's just overkill for something they could do across 3 brands. Just
Mm.
showcase them more all across 3 brands. Like I said, have them have the main events. Have them start the show, end the show. Have them have more promos. Have them have more segments. Again, like you just said, they have 3 shows, and they can spread them out between the 3 shows. As far as women's tag team belts, God, I hope not, because WWE has the same issue with the tag belts and that tag division, because they don't have a division. They're putting together makeshift tag teams and these singles wrestlers who are not necessarily tag team wrestlers. And I think that's the issue with with that tag division in WWE. And that's the same thing I think they'll run into with AEW. There is no tag team division right now, and I don't think they really introducing AEW Women's Tag Team Championships, I feel like would be an anchor on the women's division, because they're trying to build them up and push them in the right direction. And I feel like them introducing again another belt that they don't need, I just think would be a detriment to the women's division. So yeah, I really hope they don't introduce women's tag team titles. But I don't know. Who knows?
See, now back during the whole Double or Nothing time, we were getting a lot of women's tag team matches. Like before Double or Nothing, we were getting a lot of women's tag team matches. And that's what really had me focused on them introducing women's tag team championships. And I said it at the beginning of 2023, I was like, I feel like we're going to get women's tag team championships by the time we see Double or Nothing. Because in the beginning of 2023, all the way up till Double or Nothing, we were getting a lot of women's tag matches from AEW. And then somewhere along the lines, the women's division just got lost in the shuffle. Now it seems like it's picking up again, which is good. But like I said, I want to see them highlight. I want to see them highlight them more. I want to see them at least get a half hour of the show. Promos, matches, like I want to see it. I want to see that division get more amped up. And I had the Tony Storm thought in my mind, and then when we got into this part, I lost it again. Like, I need to write it down. That's what needs to happen. It was pretty much okay. So it was pretty much me saying, and back to the Tony Storm thing a second. Like, I'm not a fan of Tony Storm, but I will say this: I am starting to really, really like what she's doing. I am liking the momentum she's picking up with the character. Do I feel like she won the world title too soon into this character? Yes. But at the same time, she can build this character while being world champion. And we can end up getting her become just like this obsessive champion. Like, that's the only thing that matters to her. Almost like this focus is on her being like this movie star from back in like the 20s and 30s, correct?
Right.
And her focus is just to be this star. But the world title starts consuming her to the point where she just becomes so obsessive. At the same time, just becomes obsessively dominant.
So basically, like Edge, the ultimate opportunist.
Yes. Just becomes super obsessive and loses focus on the whole actress thing. Keeps her character, but just becomes so obsessive. to
So
the point.
she basically can transition into what the character is now, like kind of goofy, kind of funny,
Mhm.
and then like I said, becomes essentially consumed by wanting to keep the championship. That we kind of see her transition into this darker version of what she is now.
Yes. And now here's where the wide-eyed open thing. See, I got it back. I got it back. So consumed to where she beats Sheeta's 1-year reign and
Oh
becomes the
wow!
longest reigning AEW Women's Champion. God,
I
I
kind of
feel
like
so much
that. I
better
kind of
that
like it.
feel so much better I got that out.
I kind of like it. I like it a lot.
See, I thought I'd get you on that one. I thought I would. And this is coming from a non-Tony Storm fan. I feel so much better that I got that out, Cam. You have no clue. Oh man,
I'm glad. Hey, I'm glad you got it out. I'm glad you got it out.
sleep.
I'm glad it came back to you.
I'm gonna sleep a little easier tonight.
I think the evolution of Marilyn Monroe from a playful princess to the reclusive psycho. I
Yeah,
like it. Honestly, that
yes.
sounds like a pretty dope
Just
thing.
becomes super obsessive, and it gets to that point where she just keeps winning it at any cost. But in the meantime, she breaks Sheeta's record of being the 1-year champion. But
That's
then
that.
we gotta have somebody like we gotta have somebody like obviously somebody's gotta beat her. Yes, like Macho Man in the IC title. Yes, yes,
I like it.
yes. But we gotta have somebody like just surprisingly beat her after that 1 year. Like, I don't know who it would be, but just gotta have somebody beat her. That like she has somebody messing with her like 6 months in. Like the obsession finally kicks like the obsession gets there and it gets to the peak. And then she has somebody just messing with her. Don't know who it is yet because I haven't gotten that far in thought. But it just gets to that point, and then finally that person ends up beating her in like the most ridiculous way. Like a roll up. And then what we do is we just have and here's Mike's long-term storyline thinking. Like after she loses, she just goes away for a while. But we just see like these little cut promos of her being like this damsel in distress, like almost like the paparazzi is trying to follow her around and catch pictures of her.
Wow.
And they just catch her when she's closing her door, or they just like see her peeking out her window. Like they can play on this really well.
That's wild. That's wild. That's insane.
I need a life.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Hey, I love this stuff, man. I love wrestling. I don't think I would ever I know I would never ever be able to give up loving pro wrestling. I
Facts.
couldn't. Never could happen. It never could.
Next we had Wardlow backstage, and he had an interview with Renee. He talks about wanting to be the downfall of MJF. He gets interrupted by somebody very unexpected, AR Fox, and AR Fox kind of was trying to give him some advice, I guess. Of course, Wardlow wasn't having any of it, and AR Fox ends up eating a headbutt. Now, I guess can we consider this a starter feud for Wardlow? Wardlow and AR Fox a starter feud before Wardlow gets to MJF. Don't
I
really
think
want to
like,
see that. I mean,
I
but
think like a mini feud. We
mini
might get
feud.
like a match from them, maybe 2. I mean, you can turn it into something to kind of get Wardlow's momentum going. Because yeah, he's been back, he's been doing a couple matches, but there's no momentum behind it. Like yeah, you got the promo momentum, but you're going to have the match momentum. And like in match number 1, Wardlow can beat him. But like AR Fox has to come close. Match number 2, AR Fox ends up beating him with like a bullcrap roll up or something like that. You know, kind of surprise win. Or like a count out win or something like that. And then we get match number 3, and Wardlow just comes out and freaking destroys him. Like a mini little feud.
I
The
mean,
head
you could just get this like you could just get like some, I don't know, some weird like kind of feud going where AR Fox is just like, trying to prove himself or whatever, yada yada yada. And Wardlow, like I said, he's just trying to stay in the conversation for the world championship. So like I said, first match, like I said, you have Wardlow completely destroys AR Fox. Match 2, AR Fox gets lucky, gets some fluke victory over Wardlow. Then they have match 3, and then like I said, they just completely tear the house down and put on a banger. But obviously Wardlow comes out the victor. So
I think the one thing that killed, like, they can still do it. Like, they can build off what happened tonight. Like, I think I'll say this: Wardlow saved this to happen, and this is where I think AR Fox went wrong. AR Fox pretty much killed the idea, but Wardlow saved it by doing the whole like headbutt Glasgow kiss type thing. Because AR Fox, you had the words that came out of his mouth was, Darby Allin was doubting me. Like, that kind of ruined it. I was like, this just literally ruined this from even starting. Like, you didn't even have to bring that up. All you had to do was just show up. And the first thing you said was fine. The second thing with the whole Darby Allin thing, dude, you kind of ruined it. Like, Wardlow, thank you, sir. You saved this by headbutting him and pretty much shutting him up. And now you can have AR Fox come back and say, I want to match Wardlow. Wardlow can beat him. Match 2, Fox can beat him in a bullshit way. And then match 3, Wardlow just dominates the hell out of him and squashes him. And we move forward with Wardlow.
Yeah. I like it.
But AR Fox, he really lost me when he started mentioning Darby Allin. Like, I want to see AR Fox stand on his long. Like, we have not seen AR Fox with Darby Allin on screen in a while. So there needed to be no mention of Darby Allin. Like, AR Fox, stand on your own without mentioning. Because you're only going to hurt yourself by mentioning the ones that, tried to help you. Like, we know that he tried to help you. You don't need to remind us. Now move forward, sir, and start taking care of business. Again, AEW is doing a really good job by pulling the guys that are on the roster that we don't see a lot. They're starting to pull them out and saying, okay, we need you here. We're going to plug you in here. We're going to give you screen time here. Like, even if it's them coming out for a squash match, like we seen last week. We seen Peter Avalon and the guy he partnered up with. When's the last time we seen Peter Avalon?
It's been a while.
Exactly. But we're starting to see these guys and girls that we have not seen in a while. And that's great. Now you're starting to give us some of the roster that's just there. But do something with them besides just squash matches and do little stupid storylines like we can get with Wardlow and AR Fox. At least we're getting something.
Right. So it's about the short-term booking as well, not just the long-term booking. So
This takes it back to, again, and I bring it up a lot. This takes us back to the Attitude Era where everybody on the show had a storyline no matter where you were. If you were at the bottom of the card, you still had a storyline. You were at the top of the card, obviously you had the big storyline, but you still had something. And it's better than nothing.
Absolutely. But Mike, this brings us to our main event and the third and final tournament match for this week. Mox versus Mark Briscoe in the main event. Again, another different style match for this tournament. It was a slugfest back and forth. Obviously, Mark Briscoe got bloodied up in the match. I feel like this match here was a perfect pairing of the two because they both have sort of that same kind of style. So I think it was a perfect pairing for them too. So many close calls, so many near falls in this match. I thought after the Froggy Bow, it was over, but Mox ended up kicking out. Mox hit the Death Rider on Mark Briscoe. I thought it was going to be a 3 count as well. Kicked out again, but I love the ending sequence from Mox. Mox obviously paying homage to Seth Rollins in WWE with another curb stomp, a second Death Rider for the 1-2-3. Mox picking up the victory and getting 3 points on the board in this Continental Tournament. I gave this a rating of a 2.9 out of 5. Mike, your thoughts on the main event between Jon Moxley and Mark Briscoe?
This was another one of those matches where it was you knew who was going to win, but you feel like they should have pulled a fast one on us and had the person that you didn't feel was going to win or wasn't going to win. Like, I wish they would have had Mark Briscoe win this. Jon Moxley right now, you got to think of this. He came out of Saturday losing a title match because he guaranteed he was going to destroy Orange Cassidy. Had to be carried out. Like, I want to see Jon Moxley. I wanted to see Jon Moxley kind of go on like this little losing streak. I want to see Jon Moxley kind of have to climb his way back up. Because you got to think, he was gone for a couple months. He came back and he was thrown right into the top of the card. And this goes back to, we have that roster full of people, and now we're finally starting to see them. Like Mark Briscoe, we see him on our screen once in a while, but not all the time. Now he's a part of this tournament. Give him a win. And I'm sure, again, we're going to get a win from him, just like Roosh. But this would have been an awesome thing to do. Have him win. Nothing wrong with Moxley winning this. I gave this match a 2.5. I did. But I would have liked to see Mark Briscoe win this match. I want to see Moxley have a little bit of a struggle. Again, I think long term and like I would have loved to see Moxley lose this, have a struggle, and him kind of break away from the BCC for a little bit. Because right now, if you think of it, we got Yuta, who's kind of doing his own thing. Bryan Danielson, he's in the tournament, but he's on the other side because of it being on Collision. Claudio, he's part of the tournament, but he is on the same side as Danielson, the Blue League. Moxley could break away and do his own thing, but have Moxley kind of have to climb from the bottom. Like, him losing tonight would have been awesome because if you're going to have him be in like that Final Four, have him climb from the bottom. Have him be down by a couple points and then claw his way back in. Don't have him win right away. But amazing match by both these guys. It was a great match. I liked it. I would not oppose to see this one again, just like Swerve and Jay Lethal. And me being the crazy fan that I am, I have the scoreboard.
Oh my God.
I did. I made it. I was like, I'm going to keep score. So, yeah. Good match. I liked it. I want to see it again.
You went the extra mile. I can appreciate that.
I did. I kind of did. And for those that can't see, a little bit of a close up, I did.
I mean, it's like an exact replica.
Oh, it is. It is. It is literally the replica, just handwritten.
That's great.
Yeah.
But Mike, my friend, that concludes Dynamite for 11/22/2023. It is time to plug ourselves. I will let you do the honors. Where can we find you?
Alrighty. Well, first off, I made it very easy for everybody on social media to find me. No more of this Metalcore Mike 86, Metalcore Mike, none of that. No. You can now find me all across social media at Metal Mike 714. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call that. You can find me on TikTok and Snapchat. I can't push the Snapchat more than I already do. Add me on Snapchat because I do put stuff up on there to promote and give you guys like news for shows. Like, hey, join us here at 10:15 p.m. right after AEW Dynamite for the Boom. Come join us. I put stuff out on my Snapchat as well. So hit me up on the Snapchat. As far as shows, find me here every Wednesday night with our host Cam and Will, who's usually here pushing the ones and twos. And myself, here on the Boom. Wednesday night, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after AEW Dynamite. Man, I am really tongue-tied tonight. Jesus. You can also catch me every Saturday night, Prince Movie Madness, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday morning, Rivet City Red Zone with Johnny, the Candyman, Johnny H. We will be doing the Red Zone this Sunday, even though it's the holiday. We're still going to ride strong. We're going to be doing the Red Zone, so come join us on Sunday. We're going to be talking about everything that happens tomorrow. We're actually getting a Black Friday game, which is crazy. And it's a weird time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is really weird. And we'll get you ready for Sunday. And we're going to talk about everything with college football. And then you can catch me on the table spot with Cam and Sean at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday nights.
Absolutely. It's a busy man right there. So check out everything he is on. But you can check me out on TikTok. On my TikTok page is right there down below. I am on Twitter at CamandCheese317. I am right here every single Wednesday night on Rivet City Radio with the Boom after Dynamite. I am on our sister page on Friday nights, Off the Top Media. And then I'm right back here again on Rivet City Radio on Sunday nights with the table spot with this man right here and Sean. And if all of that does not sizzle your bacon, I am on Instagram at 317 Bacon, Eggs, and Cam. I want to give a shout out to everybody who came by, checked out the stream tonight. Love and appreciate all you guys. And as I always say at the end of every stream, love, peace, and prosperity. Have a good holiday. Happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all. Be safe out there.
Yes.
We will see you guys in the next one.
You know it's all about